Good morning to everyone. Myself, Vasiga, Assistant Professor in Mechanical Engineering. Today we will be discussing about the subject that is robotic process and industrial automation. In that we are going to see about the unit number 1, that is introduction to robotics. Let us begin by understanding what robotics really it is, how it was evolved. What is a robot? A robot is essentially a reprogrammable, multifunctional machine designed to perform tasks automatically. The term reprogrammable means we can change its instructions anytime. Autonomous means it can perform the actions without human help, and multifunctional indicates the same robot can do many tasks by changing its tool or end effector. For example, an industrial robot can weld, paint, or assemble the parts by just swapping the attachments. Next slide we are going to see that is history of robotics. So robotics started back in 1940s and 1950s with simple automation system. In 1961, the first industrial robot Unimate was introduced in a General Motor factory. It was a revolution in manufacturing sector. In the year of 1980s, brought the microprocessor, improving robot control and intelligence. Today, robots are everywhere, from factories and hospitals to our homes and even outer space. Next, we are going to see about the components of robot. Every robot consists of 6 main components. First one is mechanical structure, the body and the joint that give its shape and movement. Point number 2, sensor. Eyes and ears of the robot helps it sensing the obstacle or measure distance. Point number 3, actuator. Muscles that move the robot parts. Point number 4, controller. The brain that executes a program. Point number 5, power supply provides the required energy. Point number 6, end effector. The working hand or the tool that interacts with the environment. Types of robot. There are different kinds of robots depending on the purpose. The first one is industrial robot. For tasks like welding and assemblies it is used. Second one is mobile robot, like delivering boats or automated guided vehicle that can move independently. Humanoid robots, where it is used in mimic humans. Service robots, where it is used for healthcare or domestic help. Autonomous robots that use AI and sensor to make decisions. And the next we are going to see about the degree of freedom. Shortly we'll call it as DOF in mechanics content, or specified, define the modes in which mechanical device or a system can move. The number of degree of freedom is equal to the number of independent displacement or aspects of the motion. Working envelope is the region of a space a robot can reach during its normal range of motion. The first image shows that whisk of a robot. So whisk of a robot is nothing but it is a whisk roll, whisk pitch and whisk yaw. In whisk roll, it involves the rotation of whisk mechanism about the arm axis. In whisk pitch, the pitch would involve the up and down rotation of the whisk. In whisk yaw, the yaw would involve right and left rotation of the whisk. The next second diagram shows you about the vertical transverse, which shows that whisk up or down to provide the desired vertical attitude. Radial transverse to move the whisk front and back, which provides extension or retraction movement. Third one is rotational transverse. This is capable to rotate the arm in vertical axis. The next where we are going to see that is about the configurations of robot. In configurations of robot, you are going to see about the Cartesian robots, cylindrical robots, spherical robots, scar robot and articulated robot. Here it shows you the diagram of 4 configurations of robot. In that first one we are going to see that is Cartesian configuration. It uses 3 perpendicular slides to construct the x, y and z axis. Sometimes applied with W in this configuration including X, Y, Z robot and rectilinear robot. By moving these 3 slides related to one another, the robot is capable of operating within a rectilinear work envelope. Second one is cylindrical configuration. It uses a vertical column slide that can move up or down along the column. The robot arm is attached to the slide so that it can be radially with respect to the column. By rotating the column, the robot is capable of achieving a workspace within an approximating cylinder. Next we are going to see that is a spherical robot. Another name we can call it as a polar configuration. It uses a telescopic arm that can be raised or lowered using a horizontal pivot. The pivot is mounted on the base. These various joints provide the robot with the capability to move its arm within a spherical space. Then last one we'll see it as joint arm configuration. The joint arm robot, where it is used in similar to the robot used as a human arm, it consists of straight components corresponding to the human forearm and upper arm are mounted on vertical pedestal. These components are connected by 2 rotatory joints corresponding to the shoulder and elbow. Next we are going to see about the applications of robotics. Robots are widely used across the various fields. At current, many fields where the robots are playing the major role. The first we are going to see about the manufacturing sector. So in manufacturing, where it is used for welding and painting and assembly. In medical sector, where it is used for surgical operations. 3. Where it is used in agriculture for harvesting and monitoring the crops. Again, it is used in defense for drones and bomb disposal. It is also used in space and even at homes for cleaning and as a personal assistance. The next slide we are going to see that is about the advantages of robots. Robot brings many benefits. They deliver high precision, consistency and can work in dangerous environment, operate 24/7 without fatigue and increase productivity and quality. However, as an engineer, we must also consider the cost and ethical factors in deployment. That concludes our introduction to robotics. In upcoming units, we will be discussing about the sensors, actuators and control units. Thank you.